Hello everybody, how's it going? Skreezilla here and I hope you're all well. And you join me today in iRacing for a race here at Chicagoland Speedway in the ANZCAR XFinity Cup Series. Yes, I'm racing again. It's dangerous, I know. So joining me today, and we're going to be racing basically, seeing how it all goes and how everything works out. Yeah, a little bit nervous. I've not done an XFinity race in a while. It's tricky sometimes, and it is a little bit scary when you haven't raced for a while, but it's a good way to get everything working and get sort of into it as well, because of course you can do lots of practice laps and things like that, but you really don't get the proper feeling until you actually go out and actually race for real, which is a big thing. It's tricky sometimes because you go, oh well, I want to practice more, but obviously I don't want to do too much, and then you over practice and you never get it right. So we're going to go for our qualifying lap now. Hopefully things go well. We're racing in the dusk of evening at the moment. Going to run some heat through the tyres just with the brakes there, just get it warmed up a little bit, and we'll see how we go for this.
Green flag, here comes your timed lap.
So we want to cut down here, go on the apron for this lap, try and get the best speed we can, and do a lift off into turn one a little bit just to get the car in, back on the accelerator. Nice exit line there, that actually went very well for me for a change. And into turns 3 and 4 again, we're going to lift off just as we come in there. Don't want to carry too much speed as the car will understeer quite a lot through these corners sometimes.
One more lap.
Cut back down on the apron.
31.636.
31.6 is a bit slow. I'm not fast in all honesty. I'm still very much getting used to everything. And got a bit high there. That's not going to be the optimal line. So that's going to hurt us a bit in our qualifying time. Again, just cut back nice and low. Yeah, 31.7. That's not a very good lap there.
Flag.
So let's jump out and see how we're doing. So results. So yeah, we are dead last with about 3/10 off the pace there, which is kind of expected for me in all honesty. It's tricky sometimes. Like it is not overly easy to get dumped into this series, and also there's a lot of very good races in this championship as well. We don't have a huge crowd for tonight either, so that's going to be a little bit tricky. You know, unfortunately, this is the Thunder Series is now we're running it for New Zealand, and it is a little bit tricky to get competitors, because not everybody is on New Zealand time, obviously, so it does make it a little bit trickier to get that, and yeah, it doesn't help out a huge amount, but you know, we've got to do what we've got to do. I might actually move my camera to front facing if I can. There we go, change the camera position around a little bit. There we go. Get to look at my terribly unmade bed. So of course I'm using my G27. I've also got a bigger screen. I've got a 32 inch I think monitor now. So it's much easier for me to see inside of the car, which does help an awful lot actually. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, so we're going to go and grid up and get everything ready. So let's jump to the grid.
1 lap to green, get ready. Line up on the inside.
And then we'll get the start going as well. So we're here in 9th place, just because a few people didn't qualify. So, should be interesting. Should be pretty fun. We'll have to see how it all goes. So, hopefully everything goes well tonight. As I say, this is my first Thunder start for a while. So I usually drive trucks when I can, or a few other things, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out tonight, because I'm not really on the pace, so it's going to be a bit of a mobile chicane, in all honesty.
Who are we waiting on?
So we should be all good. Howdy folks, have a good night.
Likewise.
So I've got my regular broadcast
I'm going to do this race and get it work.
commentator with me tonight, Jono Hancock. He's just ahead of me, number 20. So for the
Check that for car.
for the ANZCAR Cup series, of course, that's who I commentate with. And the Cup cars, of course, have a bit more downforce. They're a little bit faster than these XFinity cars. This is sort of the feeder series to the main gig, basically. Just going to ride our brake a little bit here, just to try and get some heat through our through the brakes into the tyres, so it's not too cold when we start out and things like that. Obviously you don't want to jam on the brake because you'll lock your wheel up and then you'll get a big flat spot on the tyre. Pace car's going to be coming in.
Getting ready, going green. Pace car is in. Green, green, green.
So away we go. So we've got a car coming up on our outside.
39.041.
So one of the big things about oval racing is you've really got to keep an eye on the guys around you, because
31.
obviously
617.
you're racing pretty fast. You're driving at, you know, up to 300 kilometers per hour. So the closing speeds are pretty quick in these cars.
.719.
Managing to hold on to the pack a little bit. We are losing the main pack a bit as we go around.
.705. Inside.
Got a bit too much understeer there.
Clear
That
inside.
has lost us a lot of time. And then a little mistake there, just touching the apron as we go through mid-corner, and just unsettled the car a little bit.
32.634.
Which we don't want to do. And again, we're just touching that apron, which is not good. Not what we want to do. Across the straight, it's not too bad.
32.025.
But mid-apex, it really costs you time because the car gets unsettled and just starts to get loose. You just want to ride that bottom line and just try and get the car just on the lip of the apron. So the apron can pull you around a little bit. It can help you out quite a lot sometimes. In some corners it can be absolutely handy, but others it can really throw you out. So we've got a car up behind us. Much better line that time round.
.176.
We just got out here on the outside, and we're just going to lose a lot of time because of that. The car just gets loose. We just have to really ease off quite a bit. Now he's going to come down to our inside.
Inside.
And now got a car inside me.
32.968. Still there. Clear.
Just dab the brake there a little bit, just because I am not 100% comfortable running too wide through that corner.
.513.
Now tyres are starting to go away, so getting slightly off the line is just much worse now. The car just does not want to turn.
.617.
Completely missed our turning point there. We just completely butchered this corner. And this is where the inexperience starts to shine, because you can sort of see at the beginning of the race it wasn't too bad on those sort of fresh tyres.
33.117.
We're sort of able to keep pace with everybody else. But as soon as the tyres start wearing away, I just lose speed, hand over fist. As you can see, the rest of the field are going to be sending 32s, and I'm sort of sitting here at 33s.
33.073.
And honestly, this is where I start to really struggle in these cars. It's just when the tyres start to drop off. Chicagoland is not one of my favourite tracks either, which doesn't help too much with the
33.392.
with the racing. I prefer a track where it's a bit of a short oval or a super speedway in all honesty, somewhere I can just keep flat or just play with the throttle a little bit just to get the car turned in. I don't like these sort of half and half speedways like Chicagoland and a few others where it is literally, you know, you just got to get the turning right and just ease off that little bit, let the car roll through. And I tend to struggle on these kinds of tracks a bit more than others, just 'cause I'm not good at letting that car just ease into the corner. And my instinct is always just to dab the brake a little bit, and I've got to get out of that habit because that costs me a lot of time usually.
33.035.
Going up high here, we've got into the marbles a little bit. And you can just see the car just does not turn once you hit those marbles.
Yellow flag is out. Line up single file. Pit road's closed, don't come in. Jetstar 34 car.
So we got a bit lucky there with that caution.
So much for 4 races in a row. Green flag right from start and finish. Oh well.
Can't say I'm too upset about the caution flag coming out,
Pretty good.
because I was really starting to drop off there.
Ready for caution.
Pit road is open.
So of course we're going to pit for fresh tyres and fuel, things like that. Because yeah, it's starting to really struggle there. We're also going to catch up to the rest of the pack, of course, with this.
Jetstar 34 car.
It's going to help an enormous amount. Now I just got to get in the right pit box. Overshot a little bit there as well. I usually run the 64 and that throws me out when it's a different number sometimes, especially when you're coming into pit like that, if you're sort of not sure about where your position is.
That's it, go!
Seems like a few people have got some damage,
Line up single file. Jetstar 11 car.
so they're using this time to repair. So we've got a few positions under that caution. So Lachlan and Jason Hartigan, as well as Tristan Koch, got some serious damage there and lost some time.
One lap to green, get ready. Line up on the inside. Jetstar 34 car. 1 minute 20.177.
So drop it back to second gear. I'll just shrink the actual me window because that was a bit large in all honesty. So we've got fresh tyres, a full tank of fuel, and we're running up in P12, sorry, P9 at, wait, where are we? We're P9, yeah, P9 at the moment.
Getting ready, going green. Pace car is in. Green flag, green flag.
Got a terrible restart there.
1 minute 16.678.
Need to get some heat into those tyres now.
.372. Car inside. High. Still there. Clear inside. .971.
So we're going to try and get the toe here a little bit. And try and get underneath this car here.
Car outside. Clear outside. .795. .145. Car inside. High. Clear.
Got a lot of jostling for position in front of us now.
073.
Car behind us is trying to get past us. Again, we just clipped that apron, it's just lost us a bit of speed.
32.211.
Again, we just run a bit wide again.
Still there.
That squeeze off a little bit more.
Hold your line. clear inside.
Tyres are starting to go off a little bit now as well.
32.568.
I'm going to get a better run off this corner though. Try and get a little bit of draft from Scott up here. Force him wide.
Car outside.
And we should be able to get this position back.
Still there. 32.087. Hold your line. Clear outside.
And forced him offline a little bit, but we've had to slow down a bit too because we're a little bit too close to the bottom.
Stay low. Clear. Outside. Still there, still there. Still there. Clear. 32.468.
Nice little battle there. A shame not got the speed to really carry it on. So struggling a lot on these tyres, which is not fun.
32.532.
Must admit, I prefer races where I'm say a little bit more competitive, and I don't particularly like tyre wear, especially on the new model tyres that iRacing has. I tend to struggle an awful lot on them on tracks like this. Just because I find if you just go offline a tiny bit, you just get onto those marbles and it is just impossible to get that car turned in. You can see probably just by the amount of steering I'm having to put into the car as well. We're having to turn the wheel almost halfway now instead of just about 20%. And even when we're online, we're just losing the car. It's just understeering. The front wheels are just not gripping. So I'm wearing through my tyres a bit too quickly, obviously. And I did some practice this morning with the car, but obviously it's a bit different at this time of day as well. As it comes into evening, the track's cooler.
33.426.
Temperatures change a lot, and that can change the way the car feels. I was not confident coming into this race, but I was not expecting to struggle this much on these tyres. I was having a better run earlier today. Also, they can be set up as well, because these are fixed setup races, and that can make a huge difference on how the car can control things like that. And as I say, this understeer is just horrific. And also, you know, it does affect gear and things like that. Running on a G27, it's not terrible, but it's not ideal. You don't get as much feeling through the car. things like that is not quite as it's a bit different driving with sort of older wheels. You know, the newer ones are a little bit easier, they have better feedback options to them as well, and that makes a big difference. But the G27 is a good way to get into it, a good starting point. And as I say, I do find generally it's not too bad, but it can be difficult on some tracks. Chicagoland is definitely one of those where I'm finding that a little bit less feedback is really not helping much. But we're managing to keep the car straight at least.
8-2.
We've not spun it and wrecked yet, so that's a big important thing, and that's what I'm aiming for in all honesty with these races, is just to get the experience under the belt, a little bit of racing in here and there. You know, that's a big thing for me, is just getting the experience factor notched up a bit, because again, I've not done many
33.592
oval races in iRacing, so that does make a bit of difference to how well you do, obviously. You know, I've raced ovals in other games and things like that, but usually with a controller, and it is a very different beast, iRacing, because it is a simulation. It is very different, and it is very difficult to drive as well. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, it doesn't look too hard from the outside,
33.521.
believe you me, it can be very tricky to get these cars around a lap clean. You know, especially when you are racing these competitive cars. And it's not the easiest thing to do to get the car going around well, and you can see the difference in performance from people. For instance, you know,
33.484.
the guys that are catching up to me at the moment, JCW, Norman Clark and Hage Gallagher, are of course running the Cup Series, so have a lot more experience than me on the ovals for iRacing and ANZCAR in general. And it makes a huge difference just having that bit more experience, that little bit of more used to the way that everything runs and things like that, because the more experience you've got, obviously, the easier it becomes. And the more laps you do in these cars, the easier it becomes to drive, you get used to it a bit more. Unfortunately, I missed out on practice session because I got my times wrong, of course. Being that this is run on New Zealand time, it throws me off a little bit.
.375.
So we're running a little bit low on fuel. So I've got about 14 laps of fuel remaining. And we'll just keep out as long as we can, of course. Tyre wear is pretty bad on that right front, you can see. It's wearing in quite a bit.
33.968.
And one of my biggest problems as well is actually doing this and looking at the screen, the times and things like that, because again, you've got to concentrate when you're driving, but trying to glance elsewhere can really become problematic. A few people started making their stops at the moment, so we've got a few cars in.
.926.
Now what we're hoping for here is a caution to come out, obviously, because that's going to help us get some positions in the race. And you'll see the leaders are staying out as well, hoping for a caution flag to wave. And that's a terrible entry to the corner. Of course, the longer we can stay out means the better our tyres will be with those around us as well. So
Okay, that's our distance.
We'll have a bit more speed in our stint over the other persons. Their tyres will
3, 2, 1.
fade away a little bit as we get our fresh ones on. But at the moment we are losing time to the drivers in front of us, of course, because they're on fresh tyres and we're not.
You've got about 5 laps of fuel left. Leaders pitting now.
So leaders come in.
34.062.
And we're probably going to give it another 3 laps, I think, before we come in.
Car inside. Clear. .219.
Okay, we're going to have to stop this next lap, I think. Still got a few litres left in there, but the tyres are getting a little bit squirrely.
We're almost out of fuel, we might not make it to the end.
The leader's pitting now.
No high.
No, I'm not.
Leaders pitting now. 34.567. Inside. That car's a lap down. Clear inside. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. Outside. Clear outside.
So we're going to stop now. On our marks there, so that's good. Now we're going to lose a lot of time here. because obviously we lost time being out there on rough tyres.
That's it, go!
Just got to make sure not to get a speeding penalty. So we've managed to jump up a couple of places right here.
Inside. 1 minute 6.121. Stay high, clear inside. Slow car down low. Leaders pitting now. 32.118.
So we're on a very different strategy now because we've left it so long. We're going to be sort of slightly faster than some of the other cars. Hopefully, that's my plan anyway.
.113.
And it's starting to get darker now, of course.
926.
Which means the track temperature is going to drop a bit, so it's going to be a bit easier on tyres now as well, which is a good thing.
.073.
Completely butchered that corner again.
.422.
Ideally we want to be, let's say, in low 32s, maybe 31s on this outlap. Oh, sorry, on this stint for this time period. But obviously not doing that, so a bit slow in all honesty.
32.422.
We don't want to stab at the corner, we want to just ease it through, not go too sort of harsh through the corners. And at the moment I'm just being a bit too stabby, a bit too punchy. Okay,
32.241.
got Michael Latterer in front of us now, which is P9. And looks to be struggling a bit out there. Maybe he stopped a bit later, a bit earlier than us, sorry.
30.152.
So it looks like we've got pace on Lasher at the moment. We just got to hope this race continues green. That's what's going to help us out a lot more.
32.292.
Probably coming on about lap 80 for my stop, if we remain green. And that will take us to the end of the race quite easily.
32.425.
Because we're not going to make it to the end on fuel for sure, so we do need to pit again. And that's P10 we've managed to get there. Sorry, P9 even. Looks like Latta might have had a problem. It's very, very slow.
32.333.
Of course, we could try and fuel save and leave it a little bit later. But in all honesty, I think I'm going to let's jump on about lap 80 just to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. So I'm not sure if there's anyone past behind me at the moment. I think I'm probably in last place in 9th anyway, so...
.941.
We don't need to really worry about fuel saving or anything like that at this point, because being that we're going to stop again, because yeah, there's no way we can make up 30 laps of fuel.
32.84.
Unless maybe we get a safety car until the end of the race, then we might be able to make it on fuel. But yeah, we're going to go for our lap 80 stop, I think. That's going to be my strategy.
33.255.
Back, mate.
Definitely made up some positions with that late stop, so that seems to have worked out quite well for me, which is good.
33.101.
Considering we're very much not the fastest car out here tonight, we've really got to go for that sort of strategy over everything else.
Thanks, brother.
33.083. That car's a lap down.
Koch is coming to the pits. So Koch and Matter have come into the pits, so might need to cover them off a little bit. And this is the part of my race where my back starts playing up a bit, so not very comfortable right now, in all honesty. This is the problem with racing on these races, is because of my back injuries and neck injuries and things like that, being here for such a long time so still and just doing the steering input and the pedal input, it really plays havoc on my on my back, and it can really it's frustrating because it's such a painful.
Leaders pitting now. Car out there.
Let Koch go through. Because obviously you can't pause a race like this, you can't get a pause or a break to walk around in.
34.098.
And that's where it becomes really troublesome. Also, I'm really struggling with my arms because they're starting to want to go into a slight spasm, and obviously an arm spasm when you're actually driving and racing, it's not what you want to have happen. I do get asked a bit, well, what about real driving? And that doesn't bother me at all. Real driving, I can sort of find the seats are a bit more comfortable, and also because it's it's actually a driving position, I find it a lot easier to get in a decent position. Of course, I can always pull over as well and just have a quick wiggle around.
Leaders pitting now.
You can see I'm not very comfortable with pitting in, especially in green flag stops. I still have that little bit of cautious attitude, which does cost me a bit of time, obviously.
20 more laps. That's it, go!
So we've lost P10, so Michael Ladder did manage to get past us in the end. But we know he stopped quite a few laps ago, so we should be on fresher tyres now. It should mean we start to catch him a little bit.
1 minute 5.103.
Providing I don't bollocks this up, I could possibly catch Latera here because I should have a faster car. I should be faster with my tyres should be better, in better condition.
32.26.
So we should start nibbling into that time. So we've gained about a second on Michael now.
Leader's pitting now.
Providing I don't cock this up, I could catch him now.
32.171.
Just don't want to wear our tyres too quickly, of course. We don't want to push too hard and just go through our tyres. But we only have 15 laps to go as well, so... Just don't want to overcook the tyres too quickly and start to lose speed, because that's what we could do here. We've got P4 man Norman Clark coming up to us as well now. Try and stick on the outside here.
Hold your line. High.
Getting bottled in a little
Clear.
bit.
Outside. 33.098. Still there. Clear.
I'll let you behind the inside, walk up the speed, Jay. You don't catch me a foot in.
Roger, man.
So now just got to try and get down the inside of Latera.
Outside.
And there we go.
Clear.
Cheers, mate.
.743.
Thanks, Hamish.
So we've got a few different cars and different strategies now.
Outside. Clear outside. .32.443. 10 laps to go.
So you can see now that the latest stop has really helped me out with tyre life at least, and speed on the tyres, because I really didn't have the speed in there driving. I was just relying on strategy in this race really. Of course it's not over yet. Late caution could really mess us up.
0.431.
So if we stay green to the end here, we're in a relatively good position.
32.455.
As long as I don't stuff it up, of course. Of course, the other thing as well is you tend to get dry eyes when you're racing, especially on a computer or sim race, because you don't blink as much.
32.72. Inside. Clear inside.
So usually before a race I'll actually pop some eye drops in, usually a oil based drop, just to add a little bit more oil over the eye, just so it doesn't get as dry as quick. Because the funny thing about dry eyes is you generally, it's not because you're just sort of unable to get lubrication in there, you put too much lubrication in the eye, so you cry too much. And it's just your eye trying to lubricate itself and get some moisture in there. And obviously when that happens you tend to get lots of tears in your eyes and then you just can't see. As clearly, but towards the end of a sort of a long race like this, you do start to get your eyes watering up a little bit, and even with the aid of eye drops and things like that, you do get your eyes quite dry, and obviously it becomes a little bit more difficult because you are so focused.
White flag, one more lap to go.
That's what I like to hear. White flag lap. We're a couple of laps down. We're 2 laps off the pace.
32.967.
With this being our last lap, we should be alright unless I absolutely cock this up going through turns 3 and 4. And that strategy worked out quite well in the end, so we worked it out on strategy.
There's the flag, it's over.
Woo! P9! I'm pretty happy with that.
Driver.
Great race, guys. It should have been all the way through, but it's been rubbish.
Thanks, guys. Catch you next time.
Yeah, Michael, thanks for racing back. That's right.
My strategy actually paid off. I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't finish last.
Hey Michelle, it's the left of the tank.
Yeah, well done, Carl. You were driving well in front of me there.
Thanks, Norman.
Yeah, 2 laps there on the last lap, so I was able to use gas. The most frustrating 50 laps of my life, I think, clutching at every corner. Yeah, you're clutching it as well, Matty. I was like, oh yeah, I'll give that a go.
Yeah, I was clutching every corner for basically the last 60 to 70 odd laps. Ran out on the checkered ground.
So yeah, we
Got home
finished
4 though, it's all good.
a lap behind the 8th place man and 7th place man Ryan Bull and Jonathan Hancock, but we did finish
I was just trying to
ahead
save
of,
enough to have a crack at you on the last couple of laps, but I couldn't save enough.
we managed to finish ahead of a couple of other people, so I'm happy with that. I will happily
Yeah,
take
that's why I
that.
saved an extra lap in case I needed to defend from you at the end there. So you caught up to me about 4 seconds, but I figured you must be using quite a lot of fuel. So I stuck that's going alright.
Thanks, guys. I'll catch you probably for the Cup race.
Cheers, Carl. Good stuff, the rest.
So yeah, overall, pretty happy with that. Pretty good result in the
Good
end.
out here, Carl.
So yeah, fairly decent little run there. So I hope you enjoyed this. A bit of a different video, a bit of a long video as well, in all honesty. I actually managed to finish the race and actually finished in a decent position. So hooray, I'm pretty happy for that. Alright, till next time, this is me, Carl Skree out. Bye bye.